What is going on, everybody? It is your boy Blank Online here today to chat with you guys some more about some Call of Duty Modern Warfare. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about Call of Duty Warzone, the free-to-play battle royale that's coming to this game in early March. Now, that is the rumored release date for this. VGC News announced, or I guess said today, that it's going to be releasing in early March, so it's not confirmed, but that's the supposed release date, and it's apparently going to be instantly unlocked for Modern Warfare owners. So obviously that makes a lot of sense because it's in the game menus anyway. People are getting into the game through the game menus anyway, so it makes sense that it's going to be instantly unlocked. And then in early March, it kind of makes sense because it's all there already. People are getting into the game mode already. People are playing the training mode already, so it's pretty much there. It's pretty much ready to go. All we need is an official confirmation from Activision or Infinity Ward that this is a real thing, and then all we need is a proper announcement of a release date as well. So in this video, what I wanted to do is kind of give my thoughts on everything that's going on with Call of Duty Warzone. I don't really want to go over like all the information that we've been getting, because I'm pretty sure you guys already know that, because I'm pretty late on this whole Call of Duty Warzone thing, because again, I've been on holiday, so I'm coming back and I'm kind of catching up on everything that I kind of missed. So what I want to do with this video is kind of just have a discussion and talk about my whole thoughts on Call of Duty Warzone as a whole. There's little bits and pieces that I've read about Call of Duty Warzone. One of the things I saw was that it's going to be its own kind of standalone thing. The fact that Warzone is going to be free to play, available to download for everyone, even if you don't have Modern Warfare, and then you have the option to upgrade to the full Modern Warfare, so with multiplayer campaign and all that sort of stuff if you choose to. So Warzone is going to be its own separate thing apparently and seemingly, which makes a lot of sense. Is something that I thought was going to happen way back, even before the game was even released. I thought what they were going to do with this is have Modern Warfare as its own thing and have Warzone as its own thing as well, because my thoughts on it was that Modern Warfare was going to be one thing and Infinity Ward was really pushing that it's going to be this grounded, realistic shooter, and that a battle royale necessarily is not that. So having Warzone as its own standalone game doesn't necessarily keep its, I guess, tailored and grounded as the original Modern Warfare game is. It can get a bit silly. It can be a lot more fun, and it can be its own separate thing, which is apparently what we're getting here. Even the name of it, Call of Duty Warzone, like, it's not even called Call of Duty Modern Warfare Warzone, it's just called Call of Duty Warzone. So the fact that it's seemingly going to be its own separate game makes a lot of sense. The fact that it's going to support up to 200 players, again, I guess it's something that they've play tested. It's something that Infinity Ward thought with the size of the map, 200 players is going to be the optimal experience for the size of the map, so that it's not too slow, so that's not too campy. And I hope that's the case. I hope they actually properly tested this, because we know that they can't have tested the multiplayer for this game. So I hope and pray that they tested Warzone, and I hope that they realized that 200 players was the proper amount. We saw that with Blackout last year, that Treyarch did play around with the player count a lot. They did 100, they did, what did they do? They did 89 or something like that. They did 181 or something like that as well, and they fluctuated with a lot of different player counts until they got the proper one. So I hope that Infinity Ward has done that. We don't have a beta for this. We haven't gotten any sort of play testing for this, so I really hope that Infinity Ward has done their own play testing, and 200 players is the proper amount. The other thing I kind of want to touch on here as well is that when we've seen all the screenshots and stuff like that for the game, especially the screenshot that shows us the supply station where we can buy certain items and that sort of stuff, the interesting thing I want to take away from this is not necessarily the ability to buy things, but the emphasis on collecting money and using money to buy those things. Now, again, back when, even before Modern Warfare was released, when I was reporting on the Battle Royale, we talked about a system called the Plunder system, which was essentially a cash system that allowed you to buy certain things in the Battle Royale as you go ahead and as you go up onto these supply stations. So even back then we knew about this system, and it's very interesting to see that all of these things are coming to fruition. The fact that it's going to be a separate game, the fact that we're getting this plunder system, it's very interesting, at least to me, that all of these things are coming to fruition. And in relation to this plunder system, and I guess to get my whole thoughts on it, I don't mind it being here. I like that it's different to Blackout, and I feel like if we just got Blackout but with the Modern Warfare skin on it, I don't think there'd be some people that liked it, but for me personally, I don't think I would want the same sort of thing. I'm glad that Infinity Ward and Raven Software are, I guess, putting their own spin on things and giving us a different version of Battle Royale, and I hope that this plunder system works. It's going to be interesting to see how this, I guess, changes the whole idea of Battle Royale being a randomized game. The fact that the fact of jumping off of a plane, dropping into a zone, and only using the weapons that you find and only using the gear that you find. I guess, how is that randomness going to be affected by the supply station and the ability to buy things? And I guess as you play, maybe it's a case of as you play more aggressive, the more money you get, and therefore you can get better equipment, and I guess that will promote playing a bit more aggressive and not just being content with sitting and camping and doing all that sort of stuff like the normal multiplayer promotes. I hope that with Warzone it's a lot more fast paced, and you'd expect it to be. With 200 players and with a closing zone, you'd expect that game mode to be a lot more fast paced. Maybe some like, I guess, at the pace of something like an Apex Legends, like that sort of game. And I get it, like, you can't always get a super fast-paced battle royale, but I just don't want the same sort of problems that we see in the normal multiplayer coming into Warzone. The other thing I kind of want to touch on here as well is, if you've seen the Warzone menu, and if you've seen the certain tabs, there's a weapons tab there. There's a lot more different things that you can kind of look at and customize when you're in the Warzone playlist. And with the weapons tab, I hope that we don't get a system where you can earn or you can get better weapons than what's provided to us in the battle royale. And let's say there's a system here where as you level up, as you level up or as you earn certain things, you get better versions of the weapons in Warzone. And I hope that's not the case, because what is great about battle royales is that as you get the better weapons in the game, it's harder to find those better weapons. I think that everyone, let's say in a game like Apex Legends, everyone can find an R301, or in Fortnite everyone can find an M4. What it's harder to find in those games, and for example in Apex Legends would be like a Kraber, or in Fortnite would be like a Golden Scar, and that sort of things. And it just makes it a bit more random, and it makes things a bit I guess it's not like a thing where if you grind out the game so many hours per day, or if you reach a certain level or you do certain things, then you can instantly have better weapons than everyone else in the game. I hope that while yes, there seemingly will be different variations of weapons that we'll be able to unlock in Warzone and that sort of stuff, I hope that they don't affect the game as much as I think they're going to affect the game. And especially with the weapons tab that's in the Warzone multiplayer menu, I hope that we're not going to be able to customize weapons either. I think that's a step too far. I think that what they're trying to do here is bring the multiplayer and copy and paste it into a battle royale setting, and I hope that's not the case with what they're doing with weapons. I think that what will confuse and what will make things a lot more complicated will be adding weapon variations and adding the gunsmith to battle royale, because battle royale is such a simple concept that works so well. It's the idea of having a big fucking map, getting a bunch of players on that map and jumping into random spots on the map, and having your game completely random each time you jump in. It's not like, yes, you can continuously jump into the same spot each and every game, but the loot you get in each and every game will always be different. Sure, you can end up with the same class setup each and every game, but that's after running around the map, looting things, killing other players, taking their loot. Like, each battle royale game is different, and I hope that with Warzone it doesn't end up being the same thing every game. Because can you imagine jumping into a Warzone game, and before you jump out of the plane you have to pick your class, I don't think that's a system that I necessarily want to see with Warzone. You may be different and you may have a different opinion to me in terms of all this sort of stuff. But for me personally, I don't really want to be choosing and creating a class for Warzone. It's not really something I want to do. And I hope it's not. And I hope the weapons tab is just like a customizing thing where you'd customize the skin or whatever. But yeah, I think that's all I wanted to kind of talk about in terms of Warzone, in terms of features and stuff like that. I really have high hopes for this game mode. I really hope that it's something that gives us a break from the multiplayer. I hope it's something that will, since it's so seemingly independent, I hope that it's something that really doesn't take the first off map philosophy. Can you imagine a big map with all the safe spaces around? That would be horrible. And I hope that it doesn't promote camping in Warzone, because that would just be boring. Why would you want a battle royale which supports 200 players and a big fucking map to have people just camping all around the map? You can never get away from camping, but just don't have the game promote it itself. As I said, I have high hopes for it. I hope that it can be my escape from the multiplayer, because the multiplayer is fucking garbage, and I hope that Warzone can really be that game mode, like Blackout was for a lot of people last year. Blackout was the game mode for a lot of people. It wasn't my cup of tea, it wasn't my thing, but for a lot of people it was. So I hope that Warzone can be that thing where everyone who's not having the best time on the multiplayer can go into Warzone and be like, yeah, this is the shit, this is what I'm gonna be playing for the rest of this year until we get Treyarch's 2020 Call of Duty. So ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Out of everything and out of all the leaks and rumors we've gotten in regards to Warzone, let me know what you guys think about everything in the comments down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed and click subscribe so you don't miss out on my next video, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out.